This is coming at. Oh, now it's saying we live. Probably gonna hear me say this twice, but hey, it's your host Ty. Hopefully you're having a wonderful morning, evening, night, midnight special, whatever time this is coming at y'all. Bang. Hey, take this energy now that we all in some kind of same boat. We can start the conversation. All right, guys, man. So if y'all watched that video where I'm gonna retitle it because I titled it "How to Not Get Taken Advantage of," but the main part of that thing, that live stream, was me going over my experience. And before I go into this live stream does not promote the use of illegal or legal drugs. What you do with your body is what you do with your body. This is for educational purposes only, harm reduction purposes only, and documentational purposes only. So do not recreate anything that you see on this. And also, this is just for anybody that's going through anything similar so that they can know what's going on. Because I just got finished watching True Life Stories stream, 30-minute stream on his psilocybin mushroom trip. And he didn't reveal how much he actually took. He said he was just testing out a batch to see what kind of teacher or spirit was in it. So I'm gonna start with his, and I'm gonna backtrack to my experience with 4-ACMO DMT, which is synthetic mushrooms, psilocybin. So to go back to his story, why I wanted to jump on this live real quick, because the first thing he was talking about was how the mushroom, the actual entity of the mushroom that was being revealed to him, the form was scary. It was like spooky to him. It had fangs. It had different kind of mouths in places, and it had tentacles. It was like an octopus kind of creature, and the creature had some purples. That was a dominant color. He said, "I'm gonna put a clip in here. Hopefully, he allows me to keep it in. I'm gonna put it in." Oh yeah, this is live. Oh God, but go check him out. True Life Stories. It's spelled True Life Stories. I put a link in the description. But yeah, he was saying that all these tentacles and everything, and it was probably red, reds, blues, and a lot of purples and things like that. And it was like moving in and out of them and things. But that was like what he saw as representation of the mushroom spirit, the mushroom entity. So I look up on my wall. I'm like, one day on a microdose, 'cause I like to paint. And I see that as an expression of what's going on in my head, just so it's some kind of outward vision. Y'all know how art is. You know what art is. So I look up and let me show y'all the date first, so y'all don't think I'm making this up. The date on this is 11/25/18. I drew this. And I free drew it because I wanted to go back to how I used to sketch, but I wanted to make it into a painting. So I drew this creature right here. See, this is the octopus main creature that I was making, and he had this mouth that came down, and then there's also another mouth formed out of this. Like it's all connected but still different being. But this is like, you can see the reds, and I was trying like a new block design art thing with the colors. So I was just like had these reds and purples, and I was just like kept dotting it like that, just kept tapping it. Like probably get some good detail like that. And also it's a lot of purple going around, and I paid attention to every swipe and things, stuff like that. But also look, he has a mushroom on one of his tentacle things that's coming out. I wanted to draw that. So when he said that was the appearance, I said, "Oh, this is similar to what I was painting." That's pretty awesome. How all of these trips that people would say is just going on in your head, is just hallucinations and things like that. That this is actually real. This is actually happening in some shape or form. This is real. Like what I mean by real is that, oh my God, it's just so mind strike blowing to me. Everything is so mind blowing to me nowadays. But when he said that, my attention was just like brought back to this picture. So man, True Life, check this out if you're watching it now. Let me know what you think. Any similarities, things. I know no art is exact. No art can recreate exactly, but let me know in the comments below, or just hit me up. But that's how that was wild. That was wild. And another thing, and him I see being older, like in I don't know if age has to do with anything, but I see that him being older, like he's probably in his 40s or something like that. I'm only 27. He's dealt with a lot more in this reality, so he worked out a lot more in his psyche and things when it comes to dealing with things in life and how to operate relationships and things like that. And he's even getting better, more better through his own confession, through psychedelics and the journeys that it's taking him on now. So me, as I watch him and we go through similar things, but his conclusion matters is just sticks to him more, I suppose. Because I'm gonna dive into what I mean about this, because y'all see that it's a lot. This the Mercury square in Jupiter right now has been causing a lot of energy to be talked about not falling for deceptions and not falling for not falling for deceptions from people that like to talk real crafty and read books and never really go on these journeys into the inner universe themselves, and they're just talking out their egos because they're damaged themselves. You see this in your rappers, you see this in your music singers and everything. And personally, this is what stopped me from going into rapping and music. Like I still probably want to do music with like instruments and things like that, but as for lyrics, I stopped myself from writing raps and stuff because I was seeing the pain that I was just pushing out on other people. And even when I was mixing it up, it was still a pain that I was pushing out. Like they say, all art comes through a form of a kind of pain, And those art, y'all hear that phrase sometimes. If y'all didn't, let me know another way that is put in the comments below. But I was seeing what was coming out during when I was first writing, because I like to just turn on the beat and have the music on and just come up with the song right then and there. So whatever came out was just going to come out. And what was coming out was things that I wasn't really enjoying. It wasn't things that I was enjoying. But you see how, but it was tricking me out because I wanted to still put it out because I see how other people put out music and it's like, oh, well, they was going through a lot of pain, but that pain helped them help somebody else get through something. So that is a beneficial factor just before I go forward of art and things, that it does attach pain to people, but is in some way it's allowing people to kickstart things in their reality so they can deal with this pain now rather than, or face this pain now rather than later on in life. Like the music now is having with the opioids and the Xanax and the lean is bringing out a lot of inner stuff, a lot of inner shit of what's in our coat of in us. Period. That's all in us. It's all being out. So the old people that don't want nothing to do with it, that's still probably in them, and they ain't experienced that pain to get it out. So I don't know, but overall, I stopped myself from doing the music because I was seeing what was coming out. It was about relationships, troubles, and or if it wasn't about the universe and things like that, it was about struggling and pain and all that stuff that you hear. So I was like, I felt this thing inside of me that was like, I don't want to put this out. I just don't want to put this out right now. I don't know. It's just something that I don't want to put it out. And tying it into just to tie everything together to how True Life was saying how in the end of this trip he was saying how people that want to help people that want to help people and stuff like that, they're in a certain form of pain in themselves and they're working through that and pushing it out. But as soon as you hear that words are, as I say, crystallized thoughts. And the crystallized thoughts is a whole world, a whole universe worth of things, worth of whatever it is. And it's getting crystallized into those words and being put into somebody else's field of consciousness, however word you want to put it, field of awareness, field of, oh, now this is something they have to deal with. So I got off the track. But he was talking about how we was talking about how this happens. And, dang, I had a track. But forget that track. Let's just tie. Just ties when you combine your mind with your heart, connect those two circles. Let whatever come out, just come out. And if y'all asking why I always say that, it's not just to get it stuck in your brain. That's actually a meditation for me to say, I'm just relaxing. This is not too serious. just just let it come out. Just let it come out, Ty. That's why I say it too. But yeah, in my own no, it was something. It was something. Hold on. Did anybody write something? No. Okay. So he was talking about how we're crystallized thoughts and we got to be, that's how I see it. I always saw it as crystallized thoughts, so you got to watch what you're taking in and everything like that. Like I used to watch a gang of conspiracy theory videos and things like that, and what's going on and behind the government, and just a lot of thought people that think they helping and things like that. And even Ralph, just in my own personal reality, listening to Infinite Waters, once I saw that, I knew what was going. Like I was like, yo, he made this just on time for me. Wow. But then when I would watch it, he would say make the same video like a month later, and I would think I was still going through it. But if I wasn't watching that video again, I would have never thought I was going through that energy, so to speak, again. So that's just an example. That's just an example. And even me, that's why I titled this My Confession. Even me, sometimes that's why I lay down a lot on like saying, yo, this is my older video. I say how to love, how to do this, and how to do this. It's mostly me making a YouTube video, but those are mostly things that I did to counteract the pain that I was feeling. So if anybody else is feeling a similar pain, that they can then shape up themselves. But what happens is sometimes you're not going through that, but you start thinking about it. You start thinking about things in a certain manner that probably you didn't have to deal with at that moment. I go through this. That's why I had to turn off YouTube most of the time, because I don't watch cable TV. I watch some movies sometimes nowadays, but mostly my days is YouTube recording or out with my daughter and doing stuff like that. But it's mostly YouTube is my main form of media. So with that being my main form of media, it's a lot of opinions, even more than the cable TV. So I had to see how certain videos I had to just click off. And for me, I don't know if it's because I didn't go deep enough. I don't know how to really put it to see a separateness of it. But the conclusions that true life comes to, or other, like you hear Terrence and them say, like the mushroom told me this and the mushroom. On my level, it seems like it's still that back voice. I just don't put a name on it, but I guess that is what it is. And it's always there talking to me. It's always there. But dang, I keep getting off of what was going on. What was going on, guys? What's going on in y'all world? Hold on, I'm a little sweating. Whenever I do these shows, I just start sweating, man. I can be cold, like it's cold in here. It's a whole draft. But as soon as I start going on, it's like, what the heck? What am I start dripping for? Where do these drips come from? But yeah, so now I start with the more I started trusting in listening to the voice during my daily life. When I actually come into doing a show, and the idea of coming up for a show, and I like turn on the camera and stuff, the stuff that actually comes out is just normal thoughts about, well, not normal thoughts, but just my thoughts on things, instead of this can do something, this is what you need to do. And I was listening to Terrence McKenna yesterday. Again, all this is reaffirming. I was listening to Terrence McKenna yesterday, and he was like a 5-minute clip while I was walking, and he was saying how the ultimate thing to do is to help the world, like still like recycle and eat healthy, don't kill all animals, all that cool stuff. But the main thing to do is to do nothing. Is to do nothing. Is to really do nothing. And he was saying in terms of Marxism and things like that. But then when you put it into action, it starts making people control other people and all of that. And that's because a lot of us is walking around with traumas and everything. That's why I talk about that's why in the Side Top podcast I try to talk and break the stigmatism, and talk about these studies that's going on, so that more and more people can come in contact with themselves when they come in contact with the plants. That's what this is all about. That's what my heart is in right now. And it's shifting from wanting to say, oh, I want to help people, to I'm going to just be doing something that just in turn just people just pick up on it or not, and it helps them, or it's just a funny story, or is not so serious. It is what it is. Like I was saying after that hiking on the mountain, that 2 gram video. After the end, I sat down at the picnic bench and just turned on the camera, and I was trying to let whatever come out, just tie. I was trying to just tie, and the only thing that came out was, it is what it is. It is what it is, guys. And frustration and overthinking, which is something that I go through, comes in when I'm not listening to that voice in the back of my head. Because when I look, and it's so deceptive, because everything outside will be saying things that's not really correlating to what's inside of your head. But the deeper message of some things, like it'd probably be a quick cartoon snippet, or something, somebody said a line, or this is, you found a piece of paper with this written on it, and it's like, oh yeah, that's what, just to psych you back in, or suck you back into your thoughts, so that thought that's back there is what you're operating on, instead of operating in the illusion, and that's something that I've been struggling with in my relationship, because my wonderful girlfriend and daughter, I would say daughter of my mom, mother of my daughter, she hasn't really, yeah, it's magic and enchantment, it is. And enchantment means to like be under something, right? And but she only had one psilocybin journey, and I want her to come on camera so we could talk about that experience, because it was very, when I mean awesome, I mean it had the chaos and it had the beauty all up in there, all murked up in there. But she hasn't participated in like in mushrooms ever since. Like I gave her a little tiny stem before to try a little microdose, but that was, I think it was a little too little. But ever since, so it's thoughts that come to my head that I witness are not coming to a lot of other people's head space or head thing. So a lot of people that dwell in the psychedelics, they develop what people call a spiritual ego. Or I've been on forums on Facebook more often, so I've been seeing people using terms like um seeing whose consciousness is bigger than the other consciousness, like conscious battles, whatever that means. But yeah, it means that some people and want to help the other person so badly that they become the they become the demon that they're trying to exuberate, that they're trying to exercise out. So to put it into example, say, and it's mostly because they still have to deal with something in themselves, and that's what I was seeing. That's what I was seeing in myself. And these last 2 trips and everything that's been coming to me is like, all right, you stop fucking playing, bruh. Stop playing. It's time. It is time. And I'm seeing, and now I'm working with, I'm seeing the difference. And stay on track. It went from 4 to 1. Hold on. But that's all good. Yeah, dang. So yeah, develop a spiritual ego and things like that. You don't want to do that. Thanks, bro. You don't want to do that. So it's a lot of things. I'm gonna be going way deeper into my journeys, from this point and out and on and out. And don't recreate this. Don't do it just because you hear me saying it or retry. But that voice during my trip, during my 4-ACMO DMT trip, would show me how much pressure that I put on myself based off of what I think other people are going through. and as well, my girlfriend and my daughter is going through and things like that. So I push too much to try to change the situation. And the thing about it, where it comes into this, why we need to talk things out, or this. See, here go me saying, I say we a lot just because it just seems like that's the way. That's just how it comes off for me right now. But for me to, and then when I do that, I just get off track. For me to come out into, damn, when I say my thoughts are just slipping out of my head, it's like a trip right now. It's like I'm going through a trip. And um so damn it. The only thing coming to me is that and I'm not even smoking. But yeah, what she was saying, what me trying to change the situation, I was becoming the thing that I wanted to stop. Cool, cool. What's up, True Life? Yeah, I was becoming in my relationship the thing I want to stop, and I always heard the voice in my head. That's what I wanted to say. Awesome to talk these things out is because is be is because it's a lot of trauma that people. What the heck? All right, all right. Whew. Hold on, guys. It's a lot of things that people go through, and they want to help other people. But Bobby, what the? I'm sorry. I'm trying to keep it straight here. I'm gonna keep it together. I'm gonna become a dragon right now. We're gonna master this. Hold on. And what I mean by dragon is we're gonna keep on going up like this shirt. We're gonna keep on rising, and that's what it's about. But yeah, it can, yeah, it can come off as a into the 3D dimension as a bipolarness if you don't listen to that voice that is in the back of you, that can seem as though it's in the back of your head, but it needs to be here. Because if it's in the back of your head, you're gonna see it as something separate from yourself, as something that you think that you need to obtain instead of something that you already are. And that's what I was trapped in. Still thinking that I needed to still go out and attain something when it's already here. It's already here. That's wonderful. So during my last trip, when I was smoking 4-HTML DMT, I had a lot of anxiety, partially because it was from here to like that. Like it was instant trip out. Like when you smoke weed and you like, whoo, I'm high now. Like the hues and everything was changing and things like that. I talked about it more in that other video, but one of the things that I was getting to was that I had a lot of anxiety about like my girlfriend getting home. Just thoughts about her was causing me anxiety. But when she was talking to me, I was seeing that it was something coming up at me. Like, what are you telling me this for? Like, why are you talking to me? Like, what is this story for? Why are you telling me this mushroom story right now about about somebody probably dying and stuff, like while I'm tripping and things like that? And I wanted to get, and it seemed like if I was sober, I would have been like upset about it. But I was questioning everything. I was still questioning it. So I guess I was in turns asking the mushroom, what is going on? And it was just saying like, I was able to witness like she's not in my headspace. So I was able to realize what nice is again. Like I say again because like I noticed, but it was like it was very apparent and smacked in my face way. It was like, just be nice right now. You're not going to die. You're not. It's all good. Just be nice. Let her talk it out. She doesn't know what's going on. And I saw that I was creating her in a sort of sense to ground me or to put me in this reality, so to speak. And that's why she was continuing to say the things that she was saying. And it was not to get me or trip me out or to do that. Because sometimes my grandpa was a paranoid schizophrenic. My mom's dad. So it's things he runs around like says that he has a kid by J Lo. Like he says he has a kid by J Lo. We haven't seen him in a couple years though. But I only saw him a couple times. And one time I met him, he gave me a Simpsons tape when I was like in first, second grade. So I've been hooked on Simpsons ever since. And one of them had the alien episode on there, which is really cool. But he's a paranoid schizophrenic. So I think things do get passed down genetically. So you gotta, for me personally, I gotta like make sure that I'm grounded and not filling my head up with a lot of other opinions and other people ways of analyzing how the world works, and really trust my instincts. And when I see that other people have those kind of instincts, like stay connected to them. If I have a doubt about it, don't keep saying I say to myself, oh well, they just living it out, they go to time, I'm still watching, but because I'm still taking in everything. Like I feel when I'm out in life and everything, I'm like a kid. I'm 27, I'm still a kid to a lot of people, but I feel I soak a lot of stuff in. Like I take a lot of stuff in. And what my trip was showing me, that I had to be a lot stronger. It was preparing, it was making me strong. It was making me strong by saying, yo, you was talking, now this is what it is. Like, all right, this is what it is. And I was saying, I was like, I was just breathing a lot. I was breathing, and as I was saying in the last video, every time I cleared out a lot of the thoughts that was going in my head, and I was coming to a calm space, because I wanted to blast off during that trip, because I didn't know how much was too much or nothing. I have a Coke scale that go 0.0 son. I just put on aluminum foil and heat up the dab rig and put it in, and then I did another one again because I didn't think it worked. And so, because I burned some aluminum foil. So yeah, every time I cleared all those thoughts, I had to take a massive shit. I had to use the bathroom. So I really do think it's something about clearing your body and things like that, and how much shit we hold in. I got a meme prepared for that. But I'm funny meme prepared for that. So I was clearing out a lot of things. Yeah, trust your instincts. I had to live on my instincts. Like the point I'm at is like I'm being pushed to live off of just pure instinct. Pure instinct, because the logic right now, and it's cool because it's that Pisces, that Neptune stuff, just being way out there, and that's what I've been feeling. That's exactly what I've been feeling. Yeah, I gotta do that. And I think I branched off from the paranoid, the schizophrenic, is that in the past I would jump between the logic and the other part of my brain, other part of my psyche that seems to just be creative and flow like that. But it's just a lot of irritation I had to clear out because of all the thoughts of how schizophrenia and stuff is looked at, and especially from people that don't deal with psychedelics. So for somebody in your home, like my home, that's not personally getting the one-on-one knowledge, but getting the secondhand knowledge, and then questioning the secondhand knowledge based off of the stigmatisms that's out in the world, but still being as loving, because that's what they do, is still as loving as there, it can become off as confusing, come off as very, very confusing. So the thing is that I'm seeing is not the is the relieve pressure, is the not on people, to people in your house and people around you that you want to change so quickly because they on a track. And it's just wild that True Life was coming to the same conclusion during that story, during his trip, just that you hear now, he's coming to that conclusion just yesterday. Because 2 days ago, no. After I'm still gonna flip back and forth between the 4-ACMO trip, because it was it wasn't a blissful trip during the 4-ACMO trip. It was a lot of me breathing and, like I said, using the bathroom, getting rid of thoughts and things like that, having and I saw that the thoughts that was making me have some anxiety was the thoughts that I hold on usually throughout the day, period. So it was like, why are you still holding on to these thoughts? Like, I'm telling you, it's school. It's like when you go to those other dimensions, you're going to school. That's real school right there. Well, and then we see in those dimensions, people even learn how to create circuit boards and and other stuff. But I don't know, when it comes to technology. That's why I made that video yesterday, because let me write this down so I can go back to it. But True Life was talking about us thinking about us being the AI, and the AI out there not really being the real thing. But us being so strong and being that 5-pointed star that connects all the points of the universe embodied into this meat. No, meat sack is I think that's a racist term. But but yeah, we're so powerful and so extra, we're so extra dimensional, we're so out there that technology, that now in the future they're going to try to get this 5G and get computer chips and everything, implant computer chips and connect our brains through the internet and stuff, so they can try to recreate everything that the psychedelic mind can already do. But people going to be relying on technology in order to achieve that so-called superhuman status, which is just the reality of your human god status. But we're going to try to create technology in order to do that. Like, that's wild. That's wild that he said that. But oh yeah, I did another 0.5 trip 2 nights ago. That's what I was going